Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Drama Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Whew. I need to calm down for a moment. Very good episode today, so let's get right to it. At the old club, Kevin and Laura arrive, and they pretend they're prospective buyers, because the realtor, that's who's like kind of showing them around. So she leaves them alone to, explore the space, and Laura's looking around and having some flash memories, and she tells Kevin bits and pieces, and how Luke hired her and she was married to Scott at the time, and she really skirts around saying like what that place was and what it meant to her and Luke. So she does wind up detailing what happened, and he makes sure she doesn't blame herself. She doesn't, and she doesn't think to this day Luke forgives himself for what happened that night, and she felt like she had to constantly forgive him because of that, and she obviously regrets what happened that night, but not their life together and not their children. And Kevin says that Helena is orchestrating mind games and she doesn't have to play anymore. And like, I'm just like dealing with a real Helena in my life right now. So Laura doesn't want Helena to have this win, even if it's a win from hell. So oh my goodness, someone just left a really nice comment about how they wanted me to do commentary on, I think, their family. It only showed, like, up until there. Thank you! Like, y'all are so nice, let me just tell you. But anyway, so, they search around the place, and Laura finds something under a table, or, like, embedded and stapled to a table. So it's a piece of paper, and it's blank. Ooh, so exciting. So the realtor's talking to them, and she's like, and because they're like, oh no, we're not going to put an offer. And the realtor's like, just as well. The buyers, like, they turned down every offer. The sellers turned down every offer. And they're like, well, who's the owners? And she's like, Lloyd and Lucy Johnson. And, they're very resistant. And Laura's like, she has a look of recognition, but we'll get to that later. At the hospital, Dr. Finn checks in on a patient and is waiting for test routine, just like Mr. Ellis, who didn't get his doctorate before he died. So sorry, Mr. Ellis. So, what could they possibly be alluding to here? I don't know. So Felix wants to talk to Dr. Finn about possibly performing at the nurses' ball, even if it's to be like, hey, pay us and he'll stop performing. But he's like, no, absolutely, nope, people are going to ask for their money back. Like, X-nay on the perform A. But he needs a favor from Felix, because, that's how it works. So Felix and the staff feel indebted to Dr. Finn because he got Obrecht demoted, which they thought was going to have to, like, come from the great beyond, right? So Dr. Finn wants access to the drug lockup. Okay. So, he tells Felix that he needs muscle relaxers, and normally he just, get them wherever, but, blah, 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 blah. And Felix, slides his card, and he wants to get the drugs for him, but he gets called away, and he tells him to make sure to sign out whatever he takes, because any discrepancies, it's going to be on Felix's head. And they've had some issues in the past. And he looks around at the drugs. What's he going to take? I don't know. At Windermere, Hayden is taking pictures of the things she's going to put on the internet with, like, a legit camera, and I'm like, I use my cell phone. So she asks Nicholas for help dragging the clock into the proper lighting so she can take a picture and sell it. Nicholas is like, no. And she's like, it's community property, so yes, you're out of luck. And I'm like, I should hire her to run my Etsy store, because I have plenty of stuff that needs to go on that I've completed, and I just can't do it. Like, I'm just like, I'm not taking pictures right now. I'm a bad self-business owner. Just saying. So she makes it clear that if she gets the diamonds back, she'll be gone. And he's like, so what? You gonna have your diamonds and then turn me in for trying to kill you? So stalemate, stalemate. So he accuses her of just taking whatever's handed to her and not working for it, even though she's fully capable of working and being successful. And Hayden leaves, and she's kind of offended. I would be too, but you know what? It's probably true. So Diane arrives. She was contacted by the IRS, and Nicholas owes back taxes, apparently, business taxes, for the transfer of ELQ. Just when you think they're out, they pull you back in. So apparently, Diane filed the correct paperwork. I know, such a crime. On behalf of Jason for the transfer of ELQ, because, you know, he wanted to make sure everything was legit and, like, there was going to be no issues going forward. And it triggered the IRS. Their little flag went up. I've never worked there, but I can just imagine they have this little flag that pops up whenever something, like, iffy happens. Not even a digital flag. Like, they have a legit red flag that just, boop, whenever something goes wrong. And if they don't, they should. So Nicholas feels like this was done on purpose, and Diane's like, yeah, no, but Nicholas is not hearing it. He's, he just wanted to screw me over one more time. Jason. And I'm just like, whatever, dude. At the Quartermains, Michael tells Tracy that they saw that rattle in Puerto Rico, so obviously this is Sabrina's baby. And I like how Michael assumes that Sabrina left the baby for him to take care of, because Sabrina and Tracy were, like, besties, and, like, she could have left the baby for Tracy, and Tracy says exactly that to Michael. So Michael wants to call the police to have the baby DNA tested, and then maybe the police will search for Sabrina as a missing person, because she could still be locked up somewhere. Who knows if she even left the baby? Maybe it was someone on behalf of her. And I'm like, Michael, sometimes the simplest answer is the answer, okay? Especially when you've gone through a storyline for like a year. So Michael doesn't think the baby was taken care of properly because they were on the run, so this baby needs to be checked out at the hospital, which I know I'm kind of saying it sarcastically, but, like, that's probably a good idea. So Tracy agrees that he should have medical attention, but wants to call someone separately. So she calls Dr. Finn for a house call, and she says there's a young man who may need medical attention, and he's like, all right, I'll come over. So the baby is in perfect health as far as he can tell, but he would like to have blood work done at the hospital because there could be diseases, a virus that, like, just aren't showing symptoms yet because, you know, incubation periods, and sometimes they don't for a while. Tracy is a bit miffed because she feels Dr. Finn took Michael's side, but, like, I don't know. I don't think he was, like, trying to do that. So someone's at the door. It's Hayden. What could she want? She wants a job at ELQ. I'm sorry. Literal. I put, like, the crying laughing emojis because I usually don't put emojis in my notes, but, like, this was, like, the epitome of, like, the crying laughing emoji. So Tracy's like, all right, let's do the interview right now. And Michael wants to hear more about how, so basically Hayden's like, you know, the fact that you don't trust me would be a benefit. And Michael's like, and Tracy's like, all right, out. And Michael's like, no, I want to hear about this. So she's basically, like, saying how they'd be super scrutinizing her, so she'd be forced to be trustworthy. And she wants to prove she's better than her father. And Michael's like, yeah, but what if you're not? So she says she'll be an asset. And Tracy's like, Michael, do we need anyone at LQ? And Michael's like, no, I don't think we're hiring right now. And yeah, so they're not going to hire her for ELQ. But Tracy's like, hey, could use a nanny. And Hayden's like, yeah, I'm out, bye. And I'm just like, ugh. If you really want to prove you'd work hard, I don't know, whatever. I know, that'd be like a 50 billion steps lower from where she is. So, like, I kind of don't blame her for that. I was going to blame her, but I'm actually not going to. So Tracy really doesn't want the baby going to the police station or the hospital for his first night as a Quartermain, because apparently this baby is a Quartermain. Tracy feels Sabrina wanted her to watch after her child, and she's not giving that honor up. And then Tracy's like, Michael, can you watch the baby for a few minutes? I want to make sure the nursery's done. And I'm like, really, Tracy? I'm sorry, pre-surgery Tracy would not be that naive. At Sunny's place, Sunny asks Jason what changed, and Jason's like, I remember. It's all coming back to me. And he goes over the events of last night, which was the accident and all that. And Jason feels he's been a bad friend lately by questioning Sunny's motives because he, like, didn't know all the background, but obviously knowing the background now, he sees in a new light what Sunny was asking him to do. And Jason says if Sunny needs anything from him, he's got it. And Sunny says that he doesn't have to work for him. All he wants is his friendship and loyalty. And Jason is okay with that, obviously. And he remembers, he feels like he walked out on Sam and Danny that night to check on Bernie, and he fully expected to come back, but he didn't, and he can't do that again. And Sunny's like, yeah, of course you can't. Like, yeah. Why is Sunny only, like, reasonable when it comes to Jason? I don't get it. But anyway, well, actually, I guess I do get it. But Sunny has no desire to drag him back in. He says you can transfer your skills, and this is me saying it, but he was really, I know you're not, like, it's supposed to, or like some people like don't want to work with their spouse because they feel like that's so much time together. But I feel like it depends on the relationship. But personally, in my view, he and Sam were like awesome at the PI stuff. So I mean, it might be interesting if he like kind of joined that practice and they did some of that. But Jason has something to ask of Sunny. So Jason wants Sunny to ask him for help if he needs it, like to not hold back. And Jason tries to tell him that if it comes to Sunny versus Julian, he's gonna be on Sunny's side 100%, regardless of the familial relationship that kind of his connection to Julian through Sam. E-Cat, what are you doing? 1 second. The child has something. There you go, good girl. Good girl, E-Cat. I don't even know what she has. Well, she doesn't have it anymore. Okay, so now end scene. Woo! Always made it to end scene. Oh, E-Cat, what are you doing? What is she doing? Okay, so the realtor has an email address for Lloyd and Lucy Johnson, but can't give it out. But what's the real mystery here? What did Laura recognize? She's Lucy. Lloyd and Lucy Johnson were Laura and Luke's aliases when they left shortly after the events of the club, and Kevin says he's going to go be on this next leg of the journey with her, and they figure maybe to check out Beatrice's Corners. Like, that's maybe where this Lloyd and Lucy Johnson would be. Surprise, surprise, Michael left with the baby. Oh my god, I didn't see that coming. Who could have predicted this? Michael arrives at the hospital and shows Felix Sabrina's baby, or, he's 99.9999% sure. He's like Purell sure that that's Sabrina's baby. It wouldn't be funny if it wasn't. Like, I know we all know it is, but, like, could you imagine if it wasn't? Anyway, so Dr. Finn goes back in to check on his patient. I don't know if the tests were done or not. Maybe he was looking at something. I don't know. I'm a bad person. But anyway, so the patient from early in the episode is dead, flatlined. Now, yeah. So who's killing Dr. Finn's patients? I have a suspect in mind, and I bet y'all can guess who it is. Diane suggests Nicholas sell some of his stuff to pay these back taxes, because his fortune isn't what it used to be. And Nicholas smashes a teapot, as you do. Hannibal reference. Did anyone watch Hannibal with the teapot that, you smash the teapot, it puts itself back together, and oh my god, I miss Hannibal so much. And then Hayden comes back and sees the smashed teapot and is like, I so remember this from Hannibal. She didn't say that. That didn't happen. I made that up. See? April Fool's, like 2 months late. Sonny says that he'll only ask Jason for his help if he truly needs it, and Jason offers his ear too, like, he's like, even if you need to talk to me about stuff. So he's like, some of the stuff could be illegal. And Jason's like, I'll keep your secrets. And I have a good lawyer. And I was like, I love you. So then I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my god, hug already. Like, were you feeling that too? You're like, oh my god, just hug. And Sonny says that it goes both ways. And if he needs him for anything, just ask. And then they hug. And I was like, girl, you got this. Oh my goodness. Such a good episode. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Since it's Wednesday, I am opening up the official Character of the Week votes. If you think you got someone in mind, throw your vote in. It's official. I mean, you don't need my permission, but go for it. But I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital. Tomorrow is Thursday, so it is going to be a later upload. I may or may not eat dinner before I watch the episode, so it could be around 8 or 9 o'clock. I will leave the more specific timing in this video's comments by 5 o'clock-ish tomorrow, maybe 6 o'clock, because I'll know more. But so yeah, definitely check out the comments to this video tomorrow around 5 o'clock for an update. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital. Bye!